Let's talk about the probability of edge. Right, we talked a little bit about the interior of the defensive line.
Yeah.
Evan, I understand that obviously there's the T. Higgins factor, there's long-term signing potential, there's the potential of a franchise tag, all that kind of stuff like that.
Mm.
What are your thoughts on getting a premier edge rusher? Let's say if a Brian Burns, if a Josh Allen hit free agency, are you risking that for that? And what would that look like?
T's not back
Mhm.
in that case. That's the tough part of it. That's that money that you're going to give T. We see how much these edge rushers affect the game. We see how much these premium pass rushers affect the game. And we've also seen, like we talked about with guys like Tank Dell, like Jaden Reed, like Amon-Ra St. Brown, like you can get these receivers, these Nico Collins guys, you can get them in the second, third, fourth round, these guys that have skill sets that you can take advantage of with the right plan, with the right players in place. That's so much harder to do at the edge spot to get one of those top guys. So if you really have that chance for T. Higgins money, and let's be honest, T. Higgins might end up signing for 25, 26, 28 million dollars. And there may be some guys that you can get for 23 or 25 that you know are going to be that you don't have the injury question marks for, right? That you know are going to be top 5, top 7 pass rushers year in, year out. That's something extremely valuable that I do think you need to consider, especially if, hey, like I'm not trying to hate on Sam Hubbard, but like you can save $6 million by doing that. Like if you want to move in that direction, like I'm saying, like, okay, use that to offset the cost of bringing in a Brian Burns or bringing in a Josh Allen at $25 million a year, right? Now you're paying $20 million, right? Instead of 25, 26. That's a lot easier to stomach. Like there's other cap moves that you can make to free up $5-8 million in the cap room. So like you can make these moves and you can get cheaper. Like they've taken some big swings in free agency recently, right? I know $16 million a year is a good deal for Orlando Brown. At the same time, you can split that up into 2, 3, 4 free agents. You can hit on some of these draft picks, and that's going to help you stay cheaper. But you are at the point where I know Trey Hendrickson's still been crazy productive. He's still going to be probably for another year or two, at least before we see a fall off with the way he's playing right now. But you do need to keep in mind that the Sam Hubbard contract and this Trey Hendrickson contract are both going to end in the next 2-3 years. You need to have a plan for that. Besides Miles Murphy, we hope he lands, right?
You know what I think? Sorry to cut you off.
Yeah.
I think the Bengals view Trey Hendrickson as a premium pass rusher, as he is. But I think they view him very similar to, on the same level as the Watts, as the Garrett. And they probably look at themselves as if, hey, we've got our guy, all right. We've already got one of our pass rushers. Why would we go out and go after somebody from that position when we already have?
Why wouldn't you rather have two?
Right, literally. And they'll say we pretty much are guys. Just so you know, when we do these off-season deep dives, we're gonna be discussing everything. Some things may be black and white. Some things may be a little bit more hairy, but we'll break them all down and we'll discuss them all. If you guys could do us a favor, give this video a like, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and turn on post notifications so you guys don't miss when we go live. But no, but in all seriousness, that's probably how they're looking at it. Okay, we reworked a contract for Trey Hendrickson. We drafted Miles.
We feel good about where we are with Sam Hubbard right now.
They'll say we'll fix the interior defensive line. We'll go after a 3-tech position. We'll try to bring back DJ Reader, and that will be the quote unquote cure. I think that's probably what the route that they're going to go. We know they're not going to go after the Josh Allens, the Brian Burns of the world, even though and it's because they've kind of set in their minds that they want to bring back T. Higgins, right? And if they can't, they'll franchise tag him. That's why when we talk about other players that are realistic, I want to think about it from a realistic standpoint, right? I think Noah Fant is very realistic.
Yeah, 1,000%.
I think that, and I'm excited. I'm really excited for the offseason, man, just to jump back into things. Somebody said, what about Josh Uche? I just think Josh Uche is going to get a lot of money out on the open market, a little bit more money than what they're probably willing to pay. And then you look at some of the interior defensive lineman guys, the guys that will be available. Somebody said Clowney for a year. The Bengals have had a shot at Clowney for the last couple of years, and they haven't swung on it once or even tried. So that should tell you where they view that.
And I think there's a lot of pass rush specialist free agents, but like we talked about earlier, like why would they come here when we don't even rotate our line that much? Some things would have to change to attract some of those guys that are strictly, kind of pass rush specialists, because there's plenty of those kind of guys out there. There's not going to be too many Brian Burns, Josh Allens of the world, obviously, and those guys are super expensive because they're deserving of every penny. But there's going to be guys, like Bryce Huff, DJ Wanham, some of these other guys that, Jonathan Grenard, that have 8, 9, 10 sacks that aren't going to be that expensive because they can only rush a passer. And that's how the Bengals dip into trying to get in some of the pass rush too, but they got to figure out something.
Right.